right. Sorry for the delay. Make sure that I am streaming live on all my Facebook. So let's get there and see. Okay. I am. What I will do now is I will share. Because I want to share to my all right, we can now start. So what we transaction management application. So a transaction manage our income and that will be bootstrap tools to get framework to harmonize the logic that we control what we have today. Um, so, all right. So this is my Visual Studio Code for transaction application, transaction app. So when on Python, we should be creating a virtual environment, separate the environment the local environment from to open a terminal. So I'm going to go to the three dot at this top here. And if you notice, but I don't want to use PowerShell. If you know me, you would have noticed bash or command prompt. So I'll be making use. Now, since I'm making use of command prompt, what I will do is I am going to be running. You remember I said that the Windows command are different. They actually use the same commands, but Windows has its same thing, and you can run any virtual environment that is created on Windows on. So let's get started. So the first thing is to make sure you have Python, you have pip, and finally you have a virtual environment. Python, simply just go to your website, to any of your browser, .org, and take you to click on downloads and just hover on the. So when you are installing Python, always remember if you are using Windows. Having said that, once you install Python, it is going to come in PIP. So pip represents Python package installer. Notice that in JavaScript we use npm to install the JavaScript package, install Python packages or modules. So what you need to do so that you know you can be able. I have pip 24.2, and you can see the Python that it is running on. So for me, 11. So to use Django, always make sure you have Python 3 and that you can run pip and Django. So the next thing is to make sure you have your installed automatically. So don't bother yourself about installation of pip. But I'm going to go ahead to show you how to install a virtual environment. Install virtual, so something like this, and you hit enter. So pip install, that it says requirement already satisfied. So requirement already satisfied environment. So I am going to use CLS to clear my screen. Want to clear my screen, I will always use CLS command, and then you hit of Linux and Mac. You just simply type clear. Going to clear everything, but I am working on Windows, so I'll be using CLS. or Linux, always use CLEAR. That's clear. Create the virtual environment. So we need actually to create a virtual environment this time. So to do that, we use Python. So if you are making use Python 3-M, but if you are making use of -M, so this -M represents module. Python virtual or for virtual environment, and then followed by the name of the virtual. I am calling it Varsity because the name of my company is. Do that, hit enter, and notice some inside this transaction app, and that folder is called Varsity. Three Python dependencies that are needed for me to be able to. You're going to see here, and you can notice also that my terminal is still active. Creation of the virtual environment. But if you look at here now, you can see that it into the virtual environment to see some certain things that are contained. Because I am actually taking you through a series of training, different files and different folders and what they are capable of doing. So you can see the virtual environment contains about four, and then if you look into the scripts, this is the script that Python dependency or module that we want to install later on. Okay, then this includes be able to run this file. So do not touch this. Have issues in running your Python application. So we activate this virtual environment. So to activate a virtual environment, Mac or Linux, just type source the name of the virtual environment, which in my case is Varsity. That is for the Mac users. Once you activated, that is for the Mac users. But for the Windows users, mention the name of the virtual environment. In my case, Varsity backslash script backslash activate. You can now see that I have Varsity in this. So this is to say that my virtual environment has been started. Like this, it actually means that your virtual environment has not been activated, and whatever your virtual environment. So to be able to install everything into your virtual environment, you must or is active or is running, whichever term that you want to use there. Right, so my virtual environment is now running. And what we want to use, the framework. So if you have been following up, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please, for those of you on Facebook, and then I will also leave my link to my, on my YouTube channel so that you can subscribe. You are going to be gaining a lot of practical understanding of Python. So the next thing is to install Django because we want to be using install Django. So to install Django, we are going to use Django. Hit enter. Let's wait for it to install Django inside that virtual environment. So as you can see, welcome. Wait for very important because I can look for this connection. Let me be sure about that. Right. Video of this.